All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you guys a couple basics of Google Classroom. This is probably for those of you that have barely used Google Classroom or never used Google Classroom. I'm going to show you how to set up a class, how to post an assignment, and communicate with your students and your parents. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get into Google Chrome, go to your waffle, and click on Classroom. So if you've never used Google Classroom, your screen's going to look a little different than mine. You probably won't see all these boxes here, but each box represents a different classroom. So within each classroom, you have your roster of students and you have different assignments that you can post. The first thing you're going to want to do is create a class. So up here in the top right corner, you're going to click that little plus button and click Create Class. We'll call this Demo 1. You can give it a section title, section 1, subject. I teach math, so I'll just put math and create. All right, so now you've got your classroom. So a couple different things about classroom. You have your stream at the top, which is kind of like you could put your announcements there. It has a list of all the titles of your assignments. You have your classwork here. This is where you're going to actually post assignments. And then you have the people that are in your class. So I want you guys to click on people because this is how we're going to be able to add students. You've got two options on how to add students. If you teach elementary, your best option is probably going to be to invite the students because you can just add them in one at a time. You'll probably need to email the parents and have them get on and have the students check their Gmail. Or you can email out the parents this join code, or you can email this join code out to the kids. So if you wanted to add a student, you can just search their name. So if I type in Sam Brotherton, my name's going to pop up. I could add me. You can invite all your students. So it's connected to all the students in the Mehlville School District. So you can search by name. You don't have to know their account code. Or, like I said, you can copy this link. You can send that out to the kids, and then when they go to Google Classroom to click join, they'll use that code and they'll be in your classroom. So those are the two ways to invite students. The next thing I want you to do is go to your settings. This one's really important because when you create a new class, any student can post or comment on the stream, which could be an issue unless you want to have some sort of discussion with students where everyone can see it. So the first thing I always do when I create a new class is change this setting to only teachers can post or comment. And then I'm going to save that. So let's go to the stream. The stream is where you can put announcements in, and like I said, it has a like a list of all your assignments that you do post. So let's say you wanted to put an announcement about your office hours. So you might say my morning office hours are 9 to 9:45, and you want to post that. So then when students log in, they'll be able to see that right away on their stream. It'll show up as an announcement. But if you want to add assignments, you're going to go to classwork. You're going to click create. We're going to create an assignment. For now, while you're just still kind of learning how to use Google Classroom, I would stick with just doing assignments. After you've played around with it a little bit, and you get a little bit more comfortable with it, and you want to add questions or quizzes, things like that, you can do that. But for now, let's just stick with assignments. So create an assignment. Let's give it a title. Put practice assignment 1. So you've got a couple of different features for your assignment. You could put your directions here. So you may want to say, work on this for 15 minutes at home, or show your work, or whatever you want to put for your directions there. You can give it points. So I usually put mine out of 3 since we're on standards based. You can put a due date on there. So maybe I want them to finish it by Friday at 3 o'clock. And then you can create a topic. If you create a topic, that's going to be in your classroom for good. So if you're going to do a topic, do maybe like classwork or review or things like that. So I'll just put this one as review digital learning so that my students know anything under that category is the things they're supposed to work on. For me, it'll be Mondays and Mondays and Wednesdays. Okay, so then we need to actually add our assignment in. Most of my assignments I add through Google Drive, but you can add things, documents or other things from your computer, but there's a real benefit from adding docs or slides, and I'll show you what that is in just a second here. But go ahead and click on the little paper clip down here and click add. I'm going to add something from my drive, so I'm going to click Google Drive. Let's see what I have in my recents. Okay, so here's a social studies assignment. I'll click add. Okay, so right now I have the assignment attached here, but there's one thing that I want to change. Oh, I get this little exclamation. Attach files, information. Oh, somebody else owns that, so I'll need to make a copy of it. But for now, let's just look at this drop-down menu here. So there's 3 options when you upload a document or slides. Students can view file, students can edit file, make a copy for each student. So if it's just something you want them to read and you don't need them to type on there or anything, just put it out as students can view file. If you want it to be something where the entire class is editing the same document, which I'm going to guess you probably aren't going to want that, don't click students can edit file, but do make a copy for each student. So what that'll do is that'll make an individual copy for each student that they can type on, they can edit, that only you will see. So once you assign that out, give it a second to load up here. I'll show you what that looks like in the stream, and need to make a copy of that. I'll show you what that looks like in the stream and in the classwork tab. Hopefully. There we go. So now when I go to my stream, we have the announcement from earlier, but we also have a new assignment that's uploaded, and it tells the students when it's due and what it is, and if they have other assignments in there, it'll show those as well. Make a little to-do list for them. But then when I go to classwork, I can click here. You'll see this number here turned in and assigned. So let's say you have 20 students in your class. It'll start off as 20 turned in, or 20 assigned, 0 turned in. You can click on that and you'll end up seeing a list. I'll show you guys a list of one of my classes in a second here, but you'll see a list of all your students, and you can click on the different assignments and you can go through and you can comment and you can give feedback on that. So let me pull up one of my classes. Let's look at an assignment from So here's an assignment that I pulled up. I just went and clicked on one that was in my stream. So I went to classwork. I found a study guide that I had uploaded before, ratios study guide. This wasn't something that they had to turn in, so you can see only one student actually clicked on the turn in button. But when I look, I can see all their names. I can look at the assignment. I made a copy for each of them, so if they wanted to type notes on here, they could. But if this were a document that I were going to be grading, I could scroll through student to student this way, and each student's document will pop up, or I can click this drop down if I want to jump to a particular student. But it's really nice because you can scroll through, you can grade, you can say, I can add a comment here, say nice work, or you need to finish this. And then if you did attach points to that, this one didn't have any points, you'd have a little spot here where you could say out of how many points that's worth. Hopefully this video is enough to get you going on Google Classroom, but if you have more questions, don't hesitate to reach out. My email is brothertons@msdr9.org. Good luck.